Caitlin Clark's leadership qualities have been praised by her former college coach as the Iowa Hawkeyes continue to struggle for results. The 22-year-old has been an exceptional talent in the WNBA, surpassing rookie records and making it to the playoffs at the first time of asking. Clark led the Fever in points scored and assists recorded, breaking the previous achievements for the highest rookie scores, and became the first debut player to land a triple-double. Her former college team will have missed her performances, but Hawkeyes coach Jan Jensen believes Iowa feels the most affected by losing Clark's leadership. Jensen addressed the team's lack of senior leadership after they got off to a 12-4 start, but going 2-3 in the newly expanded Big Ten League. The Hawkeyes lost back-to-back conference games for the first time since Clark's first year in college basketball, and Fox reports that Jensen has cited the young age of the current team as one reason why. The head coach said, "I can't afford to compare what has happened in the past, because these guys are giving me a lot and they're still young. And I have to develop a little bit of senior leadership or upperclassmen leadership because that is what we're missing." Clark's level-headedness and leadership could well be what the Hawkeyes lack. She took her natural talent and ability to perform under pressure into the WNBA to achieve many things in her debut season. In her 4 seasons at Iowa, the point guard broke the NCAA's all-time scoring record among both men's and women's players and led the team to the NCAA championship twice. Her impact at Iowa was incredible, so much so that the team will retire her iconic number 22 jersey next month. The Hawkeyes have organized a ceremony to hang Clark's jersey from the rafters at the Carver Hawkeye Arena after they honor one of the league's most successful players. Fox will broadcast the event on February 2nd, and Clark is expected to attend. This ceremony and Jensen's words truly reflect just how impactful the young athlete is in her sport, and this spells success for Clark for years to come. Caitlin Clark's leadership qualities have been praised by her former college coach as the Iowa Hawkeyes continue to struggle in the revamped basketball league. The 22-year-old has been a revelation in the WNBA, smashing rookie records and storming into the playoffs in her debut season. Leading the Indiana Fever in both points and assists, Clark set new records for the highest scores by a rookie and hit a triple-double in her first season. The Hawkeyes undoubtedly feel the absence of Clark's standout play, but coach Jan Jensen believes that her leadership is most missed. After a 12-4 start, Jensen pinpointed a lack of senior leadership as the reason behind a disappointing 2-3 run in the now larger Big Ten League. For the first time since Clark's freshman year, the team has suffered consecutive conference losses. Fox reports that Jensen believes these setbacks are down to the team's lack of older players. Jensen said, "I can't afford to compare what has happened in the past because these guys are giving me a lot and they're still young. And I have to develop a little bit of senior leadership or upperclassmen leadership because that is what we're missing." Clark is well known for her cool composure and exemplary leadership, and it's precisely these qualities that the Hawkeyes could be longing for. Clark brought these attributes alongside her innate skill and clutch performance ability into the WNBA, and it's certainly paying off for her new team. During her 4-season tenure at Iowa, the point guard shattered the NCAA's all-time scoring record for both men and women, leading the team to 2 NCAA championship appearances. Her remarkable influence at Iowa is set to be commemorated next month with the retirement of her iconic number 22 jersey. The Hawkeyes have planned a ceremony to hang Clark's jersey from the rafters of the Carver Hawkeye Arena in honor of one of the league's most accomplished players. The event, scheduled for February 7th, will be broadcast by Fox, and Clark is expected to be present. The upcoming ceremony and Jensen's words are a testament to the significant impact this young athlete has had on her sport, indicating a promising future for Clark. Suspended Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler and Marina Mabrey had the props for Satou Sabally ahead of unrivaled action. Sbally, who will suit up for Phantom BC in the marquee 3-day-3 tournament, was seen hitting the floor, with Butler getting some reps in. She later took to Instagram to share her eventful day, garnering responses from the all-star forward. Satou Sabally is all set to make her unrivaled debut later this week, and the work with a fellow forward in Jimmy Butler will be a massive help. But the news that put her in the spotlight was her announcement of not suiting up for the Dallas Wings in 2025. This has led to speculations about her next landing spot, with strong links to Caitlin Clark-led Indiana Fever. News of Satou Sabally exiting the Dallas Wings doesn't come as a surprise, as the forward had already hinted as much during the offseason. Per CBS Sports, the move also suggests that Dallas will likely use the core player designation to gain exclusive negotiating rights once the WNBA free agency begins. This enables the team to work on a sign-and-trade to send her to the preferred destination. Sbally, the former number 2 overall pick, is one of the most sought-after free agents despite her injury-riddled run. At the time of writing, the Indiana Fever and defending champs, New York Liberty, are looked at as potential landing spots, although the latter might see a clog on the floor with Breanna Stewart and Jonquel Jones. The Fever seems the more logical choice, with the team needing frontcourt assistance. Nalissa Smith is one of the trade assets the side has, and it will be interesting to see how Satou Sabally fares alongside Caitlin Clark if she does indeed manage to get traded to Indy. For now, it's wait and watch, as the forward will be the cynosure of all eyes with unrivaled starting Jan. 17. Losing a generational talent like Caitlin Clark can feel like a huge blow to any team. And for the Iowa Hawkeyes, this season has been one of tough lessons. After making it all the way to the national championship game last year, Iowa now finds itself sitting 13th in the Big Ten standings. It's clear that the absence of Clark has left a massive void that the team is still trying to fill. So, what exactly happened? Just this past Sunday, the Hawkeyes faced another tough loss at Carver Hawkeye Arena, falling 74-67 to the Indiana Hoosiers. What made the defeat even harder to stomach was that it marked just Indiana's second road win against Iowa in 30 years, the first coming in 2021. Over the past couple of years, the teams had been neck and neck, but Iowa had typically ruled the home court. Not anymore. Looking at the numbers, it's clear that Iowa's struggles against Indiana weren't due to a lack of effort. The Hawkeyes dominated on the boards, grabbing 38 rebounds, including 15 offensive. But Indiana's shooting efficiency was the real difference maker. They shot a solid 49.1% from the field and 41.7% from beyond the arc, while Iowa was much less efficient, shooting just 33.9% overall and 31.6% from three. To add to that, Indiana made the most of Iowa's turnovers, scoring 24 points off 17 giveaways. And this loss to Indiana isn't an isolated incident. Iowa has had a rough start to January, suffering back-to-back losses to Maryland and Illinois. This marks their first such losing streak since 2022, which was broken at 2 even then. Clark's magic has spoiled Iowa faithful for the past 4 years, and patience is running thin. Last season, and in Lisa Bluder's final, 2023-24, the team posted a remarkable 34-5 record and won the Big Ten Tournament Championship. A month and a half yet to go, and the Hawkeyes have already added 5 losses to the record this season. Fans aren't happy with the turnout, lashing out at Jan Jensen's leadership. Clark's dominance on the court was undeniable. Averaging nearly 30 points per game, she was the heart and soul of Iowa basketball. But now, with a new coach at the helm, the team is still adjusting. As one fan put it on X, "I'm not really sure where you turn if you're Jan Jensen. There isn't a consistent player or lineup right now." The Hawkeyes find their offensive strength in Lucy Olson this season, leading with 17-point average, only 2 more average in double digits. One fan summed it up by saying, "The wheels are on, but Jan Jensen keeps hitting the curb." There's even talk about quietly starting a search for a new head coach, but despite the criticism, Jensen has remained calm and focused on the future. She's been vocal about the importance of developing new leadership and building chemistry with a younger team. As she put it after the recent losses, "My job is to keep them here. There's a lot of season left." It's clear she's trying to stay pragmatic and look ahead rather than dwell on the past. Jensen isn't looking to be another Lisa Bluder or live in her shadow. Instead, she's focused on forging her own path and leaving her own legacy. The road ahead might be rocky, but it's still early and there's a lot of basketball left to play. What do you think about the future of the Iowa Hawkeyes under Jan Jensen? One of the most iconic performances of Caitlin Clark's basketball career came on April 1st when her Iowa Hawkeyes faced the LSU Tigers in the Elite Eight of the 2024 NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament. This was a rematch of the 2023 NCAA National Championship, where Clark's Hawkeyes came up short against Angel Reese and the Tigers. And Clark entered this rematch with a vengeance because she went ballistic during the game, which Iowa ultimately won 94-87, scoring 41 points, including 9 made three-pointers, along with 12 assists and 7 rebounds. Former LSU and current TCU guard Hailey Van Lith was tasked with guarding Clark for much of the contest. Van Lith struggled to contain her, and one moment where Van Lith was seen throwing her palms up and shrugging after another Clark three went insanely viral. This moment was brought back to mind in a hilarious way on January 10th when ex-user made a post that wrote, "Let's all thank Caitlin Clark for absolutely torching Hailey Van Lith in March, which led to her transferring from LSU to TCU, which was going to cut in Haley Cavender's playing time, which led the Twins back to Miami, which led to Carson Beck following his girlfriend." While the post, which has over 1.8 million views in less than 2 days, does a solid job of explaining the hilarious, albeit made-up, domino effect, some added context is that college guard and social media standout Haley Cavender, who is dating former Georgia Bulldogs quarterback Carson Beck, who announced his transfer to Miami on January 10th, announced her transfer from TCU to Miami on April 18, 2024.